What's going on, boys? It's your boy Chris here from Authorized Imports, and today we are going to be installing this throttle body that I got from a guy off of OfferUp. It's actually a Graham's throttle body. This one's, I think, a 72 millimeter and our factory 74. I know I literally just put the throttle body spacer in, but now we're going to be pulling all that out. It is currently, I think, like 9 o'clock at night. So we're going to get this put on. I'm not too sure. I don't think it came with instructions. Maybe it did. I think actually it came with instructions. So I'm gonna go over the instructions. I've seen a couple of videos, but I'm not 100% too sure of what it all entails. So we got this carburetor slash cleaner. Couldn't even think about it. So I do have that. So for now, we're gonna take the Grim speed cover off that we installed last week, and we're gonna install the throttle body. It should be a good upgrade. Like I said, I wouldn't pay personally $400 for it, but because I only paid $75, why not? So let's. All right, boys, so we got the throttle body all cleaned up right now. It looks better than what it did. Still a little bit dirty, but that's okay because we still got to wash it, the throttle body on the outside. But as far as the inside, I just put grease on there, got my Coors Light. So we are going to get it installed in the car now. So we're going to take off this. I literally just installed all of this stuff last weekend, and now I'm going to be taking it all off. Worktop is a mess right now. I tried to install the radiator hoses. That's going to be another video. But it was just a pain. Cheaper hoses and stuff. So now we're going to be doing the good stuff. So now we're going to be getting this top part taken apart. Take all this stuff off, and so let's go. All right, boys, so for starters, can you guys tell the difference? It's ridiculously, well, I wouldn't say ridiculously huger, but definitely, you know, like it'll fit inside, because obviously it's definitely bigger. So like it's pretty decently bigger. I think, like I said, this one's 64, this one's 72, this one's 65, so this one's 8 millimeters bigger. You can see my old throttle body. I've never taken it off before. It's just super dirty. The car's done me really well and everything like that. I'm not too sure what it looks like inside. Let me turn on my flash real quick and show you guys. All right, boys, so this is what it looks like inside the intake. I've never actually looked inside. It's actually not that bad at all. It's mainly the throttle body that's dirty. So like you can see on this one, so the way that it goes on when I was reading the instructions is, well, whatever it is, like this, like so. But before we do that, we have to get this little L shape, which hopefully I didn't lose it so far. Oh no, boys. It's like a little L. Here it is. This is just gonna connect to one another, like bam, oh shit, like bam, like so. So we're gonna get that put on. That's for the coolant, because this one has a coolant passage so that I can warm up the throttle body. But with that being said, this one does not, but it does have a port right here. I'm not too sure if it's for like nitrous, what is it called? Not menthol, methanol. So it has little ports, so that's in there. So we're gonna get this put on the car. Let me start with this, and then I'll show you what we're gonna do next. All right, for starters, boys, this elbow is way bigger, fits over that. My hoses can't even go over this at all. So I think I won't be able to do anything tonight. None of the hoses were too big. This is way too big. We need hose clamps for that. We need an elbow for this now. So far, that looks like that's the only problem. And it looks like, I don't think these are threaded in there, and I'm not gonna touch this throttle body either. Actually, let's see if they're just threaded in there. So maybe we could just take this off, and then we'll just go from there. So just give me 1 second. All right, boys, so now it's now day 2. We ran to O'Reilly's. I wasn't able to find hose clamps the size that I needed. So for now, we're gonna be doing the throttle body. So I got these like little clamps. I don't even know what they're, assortment. I don't even know what the hell you would call them. But anyways, they're little like plastic hose. I think they're for PCV, but we're gonna use them for coolant. It should be fine. It's hard plastic. It's not gonna melt or anything like that. So for now, let's get started. We're gonna get this on so that we can finally start getting the throttle body on. I'm hyped about that. So I just gotta figure out what size it is, and then we're gonna go from there. So let's go. All right, boys, so after it's all said and done, you got your clamps on. It looks like it should be fine. We will definitely see if it does leak or not. So we're just gonna, you know, tuck that under there like that. I know it's supposed to be an elbow, but I wasn't necessarily able to find one. Got that G Fuel. So now what we're gonna do is, now that it's daytime, I'm gonna actually clean out the throttle body more. You can see there's some coolant mixed with water. My garage leaks right here. So now that we got that taken care of, we are now gonna start working on the throttle body again. Gonna get it all cleaned up. Back should be able to see what's going on in here. So let's get this cleaned. All right, boys, so we got everything on. It seems pretty good. Got that clicked in. The radiator hose. Now I just got to fill up the coolant reservoir bottle because we did try to do the hoses last night, but that didn't go too well. So we got to see if that's leaking. But for now, before I even try to attempt to put the intake on, because I'm going to have to heat it up because this, as you can see, is a lot bigger. So this should work. It's just I have to heat it up. It's kind of like a little tight fit on this one, but as you can see, I might have to run the factory one. I'm not too sure, but I will get this to work. If not, we could cut like a little slit in there with the razor blade and just fit it on there and then hose clamp it down. So with that being said, let me go get my keys, start the car up, put some coolant in real quick, and then go from there. So let's go. All right, boys, I forgot to do one small thing. Is I forgot to disconnect the battery itself so that it doesn't remember what's going on with the actual car itself. So with that being said, I have to disconnect it. I tried to turn on the car and it was rough. That's because I didn't have the battery disconnected. So what I'm gonna do right now is disconnect the battery. You gotta let it sit for 5 minutes. Then after we reconnect it, we turn on the on position 3 times so the throttle body knows where to go. Because I guess if you didn't disconnect the throttle body itself or the battery, it'll remember what this one was doing, but because it's a brand new one, bigger throttle body, it's gonna mess up everything. So let's just disconnect the battery for about 5 minutes, then I'll get back to you guys. Alright, boys, so the car is idling. I think what's smoking is the coolant. Yeah, it smells like coolant. All the coolant that fell on the block and everything. It's probably hard to hear me, but it's all cold starts right now. Alright, boys, so everything's running fine. This is all the coolant residue that fell over yesterday and dumped onto the exhaust. But this little like flange thing that I did do underneath the throttle body is leaking. So I'm gonna have to figure out what I could do to actually fix that. Golly, that thing tastes sweet. The only thing I do have is like little hose clamps that maybe, hopefully, will work. May not. Oh, I have one right here. We could put these around and see if it'll fix the problem. So hopefully I could actually get in there without taking the throttle body off and fixing it that way, because it is leaking a little bit. So with that being said, you can see that little puddle right there. Let's get it fixed. All right, boys, so I double clamped it. I don't think these were tight enough. I think they were still a little bit loose. So now I have hose clamps that look like they're pretty damn tight. I have 2, so hopefully it doesn't leak now. So now we're just gonna connect the boot back up, see if it's still leaking, and then go from there, and then hopefully it fixes it. So let's go.